What's up, YouTube land? Welcome back to GC Sports. Tonight, it is week 3 in our season, and we're going to get kicked off with the Group C Slider Series. They are heading to Chicagoland Speedway, and we've got a big field here tonight. We've got 20, 21, 22 drivers somewhere in there, Taddy. I don't know if you can confirm or not.
23 drivers.
23 drivers, huge field, and they're raring to go here tonight at Chicagoland off the heels of 2 very good races that we've seen so far, both won by Just Ken. So can Just Ken make it 3 for 3 and continue that reign of dominance that he's got going on? We're about to find out. He's got a stacked field behind him, though, as a memory is going to lead the field to green here this evening. 67 laps around this 1.5 mile track in the outskirts of Chicago, Illinois. And these drivers must make 2 pit stops in that 67 laps. They get about 30, 31 laps on a tank of fuel. So strategy, that's up to them, but they have got to come down pit road 2 separate times.
You can accept your invite, bud.
All right, as we can load in already. As I have slightly mentioned here, I'm joined again by Aqua Taddy, CEO of GE Sports. Taddy, what you looking out for here tonight, and who you got your eyes on?
There's a list of drivers I have my eyes on. We were talking about it actually earlier in the pre-race, you and I, and 23 drivers, and I'd say there's probably 7 to 10 that all have a chance at winning. One of those guys I didn't even put on the list was old guy starting in second, so good qualifying run from him in the 1 car, I believe. Memory, it's going to be hard to say not Memory. He had a really good run last week. He had that pit road speeding penalty, cost him his chance at the win, but I expect him to bounce back this week. And then, of course, it's hard to keep your eyes off Just Ken, who's 2 for 2 in this series so far.
Yeah, Memory had an incredible GC Sports debut last week. Can he back it up here? He's sitting in prime position on the front row. The 17 car leads the field to green here tonight at Chicagoland Speedway. They dive off into the corner. They're already looking to go 3 wide. As we got some nose, looks like the 13 of the voice of NASCAR looked to put a nose on old guy there, but had to back off here early on at Chicago. There are no cautions, so these guys have to play it safe.
Yeah, 67 laps. I don't know if I'd be doing this 3 wide racing already on lap 1. If it's me,
they're 5 wide.
That's excessive. I like it.
They were 5 wide.
That's great. Yeah,
Just Ken got put into the wall there, so he's got some work to do if he wants to make it 3 for 3.
Yeah, up front we got Memory still leading. Old guy with last week our co-host in the booth, voice NASCAR, he missed the race, but this week he's there and gets to start up front, so he was able to make it this week as he's now on the inside of old guy. This is for P number 2, and behind him we have one of the 2 new drivers this week as Spenker 24 returning from last season. This is his first race in that 36 machine. He's now looking underneath the 1 car of old guy for 3rd place.
Yeah, right now I'm sitting on board with his 24 cars. The 36 and the 1 made some contact into corner number 1, but I'm on board with Long Live the Sauce here. He got past that. Made it up into 4th place.
Yeah, I gotta give a shout to, if you see the 18 car on the screen, Hamilton X44. I told him last week that his car was ugly, so he told me this week he was going to find the ugliest means to be good. And, well, he nailed it. That car is god-awful.
He's got that white and red Skittles Dips car here tonight, Hamilton X44. He had a really good run last week as well. And
we have a wreck in turn 1, I believe. The 1 car of old guy who started second is spinning down through the corners.
Yeah, we do. Let me go see if anybody else got involved in that. It doesn't look like it.
Yeah, I didn't see any other drivers. I was actually on board with the 1 car.
Just the 1 car of old guy there was the only one involved. Don't know what happened there, but his night went from really good to really bad, just like that. With no cautions, his race is essentially over. He's going to need everybody to speed on pit lane at least once to make up that kind of ground.
Yeah, old guy's actually one of our top runners in points as far as the top 15 advancing, and simply because when things like this happen where he gets wrecked early in a race, he's not one of those guys to quit. He's going to stick with it. So as other people have problems, possibly lag out or involved in other wrecks, he's going to stay on the race and try to make up as many positions as he can, which that's exactly what we're looking for here at GC Sports, the guys that are willing to ride it out to the end.
Yeah, old guy is off to a really good start this season. I know his points position doesn't really indicate how well he has run so far, but he's got some work to do here tonight at Chicago to get back up to a good finishing spot. As we got about a 6-car breakaway here at the front of the field, led by memory still. I was going to say Alex, but the voice of NASCAR sitting in second, Spanker in third, Hamilton up to fourth. Got the 41 car right there in fifth place.
That's Fire Slayer, his first race here tonight.
Fire Slayer making his debut for GC Sports here at Chicago. Race number 3 of this 8-race mini-series to end NASCAR Heat 5. He's up inside the top 5. Trying to make an impression here early on. It looks like these guys are fighting for the bottom line for the most part, Taddy. From personal experience, I know that high lane can work, especially when it's one-on-one, but what do you see these guys doing here? Why they like the bottom so much?
Well, I think right now you're just trying to get some positions without losing anything. Trying to set yourself up. They do have 2 stops they must make. The second stop, I expect probably fuel on the tires go up. Right, so at this point, you don't want to put yourself in a dangerous spot. There's too many laps left, and if you're on the outside, we've seen it with the old guy, he got pushed to the outside one time, contact between him and 36, then more contact, and then entering a corner, he gets more contact, ends up spinning. All because he was on the outside trying to fight his way back to the bottom. This is a 2-wide racetrack with no cautions. In any series, at any track, realistically, if you're on the outside of the corner, you're really at the mercy of the guy on the inside, not making a mistake when you're going out there. So I think that's why you're going to see, especially in this C Group Slider Series, early in the race, you're going to see every track, basically, these drivers are going to be fighting really hard to get that bottom line.
Yeah, right up here in the front, I know it's the C Group, but we see a lot of experienced league veterans up here in the front, and it seems like right now they just kind of want to run single file, log some laps till that first pit stop as Spanker missed his entry just a little bit there in a 1. These guys are just kind of riding, and as I say that, now they're starting to make some moves. As the voice of NASCAR washed up out of turn 2, Hamilton's going to look to take second.
Yeah, that 18 car so far this season, he's been running up front in both of our races, and he's looking to carry that on. Memory again last week, he and Billy Holcomb both were 2 of the cars that were looking to dominate the race in Atlanta, and then they were actually seeing P1 and P2 come down pit road and ended up with a speeding penalty. Memory looking to bounce back and all this racing behind him, he's loving it. Chicago is one of those tracks that even though the draft is heavy, if they start racing behind you, you can pull away, and even with the draft, it's hard to catch back up to that guy in first.
Yeah, Hamilton entering tonight in his second place in points after 2 races, so he's sitting in a really good spot if he wants to advance up in the B Group next season.
Yeah, and with Just Ken struggling and Hamilton still running up the front. Again, you mentioned Just Ken got into the wall earlier. Even though he's got 2 wins, he's only, a handful of 10, 20 points ahead of Hamilton and 2 points per position. So Hamilton looking to hopefully take over the points lead for that 18.
Speaking of Just Ken, he is in a wild group back here. Sorry, Taddy. The 42, the 32 Mo Power Cowboy came together off of 2. Cowboy plastered the outside wall. He's going to lose a ton of spots here and track position.
Yeah, that's a hornet's nest back here. That's the second group, too, I believe, right? Just Ken's now leading that second group, so he's running in 7th, but look at that distance between them and the lead pack. That's a good 3 seconds, if not more, from Just Ken to the others. He has no draft help, so he's trying to catch those guys by himself.
Yeah, that's the difference here. These guys have been jockeying for position since the start of the race. That has allowed that group that was single file to really get out to a big lead here. And Just Ken, I don't see Ken running them down without draft, but we've seen crazier things happen, so we'll keep an eye out for that 00, 2-time winner already this season. These guys are still fighting back and forth. I'm on board with Mo Power Cowboy. He's looking underneath the 73.
That's
Brian. Yep, Brian is P.
I'm still learning some of the numbers, but I'm starting to get the hang of it. That's the positive about being the broadcast team. You get from me is you start to really remember who people are that you talk about on TV. That's the dude right there behind the 32 Mo Power Cowboy. I don't know if you're still on that section or not.
Yeah, I'm actually on Butters right here in the 21 behind all of these guys, right behind the dude there. But
Butters had me intrigued in qualifying. He was running Kyle Larson line every lap of qualifying. I haven't seen him do it here in the race, but yeah, he definitely likes that high side qualifying.
He's not exactly running that bottom lane either, though. Just kind of sitting right there in the middle. So something about that high side that's really really intriguing Mr. Butters tonight.
Real quick on YouTube land, Den Kate was first message while they were loading. Then we've got Hunting Extreme Dirt Racing, Ball Bear, Cowballs, and Jose Protege out there. Thanks for tuning in. We have 10 live viewers currently. So thanks for tuning in, guys.
I see those guys out there on the chat bar. Glad you could join us here tonight on this fine Monday evening for the Camping World 100. I did some quick math in my head there.
Yeah, 1/4 of 4 is definitely one. So I'm riding back here with Crableg and T.Y. I don't know what happened to the two of these, but Crableg, since he's been joined, he's been one of the favorites each week. He did start back today, so missed qualifying. T. White, one of our dominant cars at Talladega, didn't see a whole lot of him out at Atlanta, but I expected him to be a top competitor here at Chicago. But both those guys were considerably further back in the pack, so not sure what happened to them.
That's just the product of missing qualifying there for Crableg. It opens the door for him to get involved in any sort of thing, trying to make his way up through the pack, and it seems to have bit him here tonight at Chicago. So right now he's just trying to salvage some points, maybe use some strategy later on in this race to gain some spots back. Front cars kind of remain the same. Got a little bit of a gap though, back to 5th place as the top 4 seem separated.
Lead, as you say that.
Yep.
Yeah, Hamilton's actually on the inside of the 17 of Memory right now. Alex Nansari, the voice of NASCAR, and Fire Slayer right there running in 4th as they're all trying to get around that 17 Roush Ford of Memory 402.
Yeah, we were talking about getting used to drivers driving certain cars. Well, Memory, you switched it up on us here this week, driving a different car. Get used to it. As there's so many drivers on track, it's going to take a little bit to figure everybody out.
Got 2 more out on YouTube. We got WRX Mike. He stopped by for a minute. Thanks for tuning in.
Country Caliber
says Krabby got wrecked on lap 2.
Oh well, welcome to my custom world on Talladega season opener. I think it was lap 3 for that, but I know the feeling. Know the feeling, country. Looks like Alex had a little bit of a problem there coming out of turn 2. Maybe clipped the apron just a little bit. It's going to lose some time. Puts Fire Slayer right on his bumper. I don't believe they're going to lose the front 2 though, as draft really does play a factor here at Chicago.
I think the 2 in a hard time here trying to get back caught up is Long Live the Sauce in that 24 as well as Spencer in the 36, and we really have what we used to see at like the super speedways. It's kind of tandem racing here. You got as the 17 gets really loose on the exit 2 there, but you kind of have 3 distinct groups of 2 here trying to work their way to the front.
As there's still a pretty big gap back to everybody else. Looks like a couple of drivers. A couple of drivers trying to separate themselves. Just Ken and Higgy right here, trying their best to use a 2-car tandem to get up to the front. They have put a little bit of a gap over what was that? 8th place, 9th place.
12 for Broadcaster Clay sitting there in 9th. I really like for Just Ken. As far as drivers in the back half of this pack, you couldn't have picked a better guy to hook up behind you. Higgy, that 34
for
car.
Sure.
He really knows the situation. I say this, it looks like he exits a little lower than Just Ken, but he really understands that he's in no contention to win right now, and passing Just Ken's not going to do a whole lot for him. So he's kind of just hooked up to the back bumper of that 00, and they're going to try to work their way up and make that an 8-car battle for the lead instead of just 6.
Yeah, Higgy comes into the night's race sitting 4th in points. He's got 2 top 5s in those 2 races, so has not had a bad finish yet. Been one of the contenders each race, and right now he's sitting solidly inside the top 10.
Up front, we have another new race leader as Memory has now crossed back over and gotten around the 18 of Hamilton. And here comes Voice of NASCAR as well as Fire Slayer yet again to try to get by the 18. And through the tri-oval last lap, Memory just kind of made a bold move, got down underneath that 18 car and it stuck. So new race leader, 18 gets loose, gets into the 13 car. This should allow the 24 and the 36 to catch back up if they stay nose to tail all this racing going on in front of them.
I tell you what, Sauce is loving seeing this in front of him. It is going to allow that 24 car to gain some time back that he lost on these guys. So he's looking to do that right now, him and Spanker.
So this is probably a little late to be asking, but Mike, you asked me who I was watching tonight for the race, but who are you watching right now? I know that we're kind of down to just 6 cars, but who you got your eyes on right now?
I mean, there's so many good drivers in this series. You pointed out a bunch of memory. Voice of NASCAR, Fireslayer, Hamilton, these guys in the top 5, Sauce, Spanker. I know Crableg was one of them. He's just coming off pit road. Looks like he's playing the strategy game here. At this point, he's got nothing to lose. But, man, I just had the feeling that the 24 car had something tonight at Chicago. And right now, he's sitting okay, but he needs to get that draft back if he wants to keep in contention here. But he's got a bump from that 36, and that's not going to help.
Yeah, I don't know if those two are in a chat together, and I would assume probably not. But if I was the 24 and the 36, I might think about shortening here. Again, we talked about there's going to be 2 stops. One's going to be basically fuel only, maybe right sides if necessary. But there's a 7-lap distance, so you know you have to pit at least twice. If you've fallen off a second, 2 seconds, like maybe they have, you can pit about a lap to 2 laps before the race leaders. You'll gain up that time and still have fresh enough tires to be able to stay with these guys. So if I was those two, that might be what I'm thinking.
Yeah, here at GC Sports, we have a 5-lap rule. You can't save more than 5 laps of fuel, tires in a race. And doing the math, these guys come up 6 laps short here at Chicago. So just outside that limit. So they do have to make a mandatory 2 pit stops. It doesn't matter what they do during those pit stops, but they've got to make 2 pit stops. It's really going to throw all sorts of strategies out there what these guys are going to do.
Yeah, and just so everyone knows with that rule, that really affects the C group more than it does the other two, the B groups, simply because in the B group, we set the amount of pit stops that are mandatory if the race goes green, but the moment that one caution comes up, that throws it all out the window, and then saving is fair game. It is yet to come into play, but actually, I say that last Thursday, Road Chase won, not necessarily saving, he saved his tires as long as he could push it to the absolute max, and then he had to do right side of the pit stop. So there are benefits here, and again, with the fuel only, if you're somebody that's running back a little ways right now, you might try to, in that second stint after your first pit stop, try to save your tires the best you can and not push so hard to catch back up, and use that pit strategy of going down and just taking a half can on fuel. Or another theory that you could do is not actually have to pit for anything. If you're able to save your tire and your fuel, when you go down pit road, you shut everything off and you only have a 1.2 second stop.
Speaking of pitting, we got the first of our leaders coming in. Memory hits pit lane along with Hamilton. Memory had just given up the lead to the voice of NASCAR and Fireslayer, and this might be the reason why he comes to pit lane here for the first time tonight, and that might just open the doors for the rest of those guys.
Yeah, I think.
Yep, here comes 13.
Yeah, if I'm a race leader, I'm staying out there until I've used every bit of it and I'm out of fuel and have to pit that time. I don't know if that's the scenario for these guys right now. Of course, if you're the 13 and the 41, you got to pit with the other leaders. They kind of set the precedent. But I really like the concept of using everything, every last lap that you can right now, so that it minimizes that final stop. But with how everyone's coming down pit road, I'm going to say nobody could go another lap on fuel.
Yeah, we got almost everybody here. Everybody that was left, the 13, the 41, the 36, the 77 of Tackleberry, second place in points. Third place in points. Yep, third place, sorry.
Yeah, I'm seeing a motionless car on pit road. The only one so far, Mopow Cowboy in the 32. Looks like his night is going to be done, even though they're on, everybody's pitting right now. It looks like his car is motionless.
Yeah, he did hit that wall early on with contact from the 42. Of Brett the Jet, so he had a rough night to begin with. I don't know if anything else happened after that, but he's going to end his night with a blown engine here in race number 3. As these guys are cycling off pit road, Memory's got a big gap over Hamilton, and he's going to have an even bigger gap over the 13 and everybody else coming off pit lane.
I'm looking for dedicated stream real quick to see. Make sure that is our race leaders. I would assume it to be, but just to make sure. Of course, you can never find a stream when you want
to. I don't think so. Butters looks like he's still on old tires. The 17 just got around him.
Butters. Oh, Butters.
I'm not sure if Butters is pit just yet. But 17 is dealing with some traffic here. He's got another one up in front of him. That might be Brian. Let's go find Brian. Somewhere.
So the 32 Mopout Cowboy says that his issue is actually the lack of warning that he was pitting.
Well, that's definitely bit some people out before. We've seen pit entry be. It's one of the most difficult things to do on this game, and certain tracks it's hard to do it at, especially these mile and a halves where you can't just get right on the apron immediately. So you're gonna slow down in that inside lane, and that opens the door for somebody to misinterpret what you do down the back straightaway or whatever the case may be. And it looks like we have some contact there between the 42 and the 32 on pit entry, and it's costing the 32 his race.
I am seeing the 17 as the race leader, so that is 100% accurate that memory is the race leader.
He's right behind Brian right here, trying to put him a lap down. Brian's going to stay to the high side. Memory's going to take the low line entering one, and it's going to clear him with ease.
Yeah, something that's going to be really important here for that second group. Hamilton, a voice of NASCAR, and who's that? Oh, that's Butters behind him. But so the 18 and the 13, something that's going to be really important for those two if they want to catch that 17 while they still have the fresh tires. They can't get racing right now. They had to get by Butters. They're going to have to get by Brian, but they really just need to stick nose to tail, or else that 17 is going to walk away if they start getting side by side. Not that he isn't already walking away, but that gap will extend even further.
Yeah, he's got some traffic here between himself and the 18 car. That is Brian that he just passed, but he's got that 18 car's got a friend right there in the 13. If they could draft back up to the 17 of memory.
Yeah, I don't know if you just seen it on your screen, but I seen some lag out of the 13 real quick, just quick lag spiking forward. Doesn't look like no harm, no foul. Butters didn't get pushed backwards, and it didn't look like he spun the 18. So, but the 18 now looks like he's going to pull to the high side and let the 13 go.
Yeah,
that
maybe
because of the lag spike that he's seen, he doesn't want to get spun.
Yeah, maybe feels that the 13 might be a little bit faster as well. You never know. Maybe he can pull the 18 back up with the leader here. We see that happen a lot, especially in the B group where the draft is on low and not normal. You see guys swap positions around to maybe have this faster guy on front to get that pull.
Yeah, it's a little different with the low draft instead of this normal draft. Normal draft, it doesn't really matter. Two cars is going to be faster than one. But yeah, when it comes to the low draft, you really have to have the faster of the two cars out front if you're going to use that pull successfully.
These guys are really dicing.
Yeah, he was struggling to get around the 73 Brian SP, who Brian moved out of the way and went to the high side for the race leader, but is holding the bottom with these guys. 13, I don't know if he got loose or just wasn't happy with the 73, but yeah, a little contact between them. Hamilton to the outside side in that 18 Toyota, and you have Spanker, Fire Slayer right behind them. This is the battle for second as the 17 has checked out on these guys.
Yeah, that got really hairy there for a minute off of turn 4. Fire Slayer looked like he was going to make it 4 wide with the lap car in the middle, but he didn't do it. But there was some contact between the 13 and the 73. The 73 paid the price, went through the grass. But now we've got 4 lead lap cars right back here, nose to tail. The 13, the 41, the 36, and the 18 all right here. This is second, third, fourth, and fifth.
Yeah, they're really, like I said earlier, they're just going to have to line up and try to do what they can to move forward here. It's going to be a tall task as that 17 is, I mean, he's a couple seconds ahead. That is a big gap. But the 24, however, wants these guys to get racing again so he can try to catch back up because he's the only one not to clear Butters so far of the lap traffic.
Yeah, that's really going to cost them as these 4 right here are lined up, nose to tail, working together. That 24 car is stuck between those lapped vehicles.
Yeah, another big issue that I seen, we talked about Justin and Higgy earlier working together. Now Justin has Tackberry, who is one of the top 3 in points, I believe. And right, so it looks to me like the 34 Higgy got a bit road speeding penalty on that the first stop because he's nowhere near these guys, and he's actually driving on track all by himself, about a quarter of a lap behind these guys.
Yeah, that'd be a real shame for Higgy. He had a fast car here tonight. Right now, kind of cruising through the field. There's Tolson, Brett the Jet. A lot of these guys been caught up in something somewhere. All riding single file. T. White, he was our pole sitter for the season opener at Talladega. The 49 car. Broadcaster Clay in the 12. Dinkate right there. Gets around him. The Dirty Dog in the 66. And there we find Higgy. He's lost some ground.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there, but I know that this battle with Just Can, Tackleberry, and Broadcaster Clay is about to heat up. Those two cars have been catching that 12 really quickly. I'm not seeing it happen up front as of course, as I get up there, the 41.
Yeah, the battle for second, it still rages on. They're still going at it. 13's going to drop all the way to the back of this line, even going to let the 21 around, it looks like. And he does. Butters gets around him.
Now,
13
Butters
fights back on the high side.
Butters didn't have the speed earlier in the race, but he does have the freshest tires of all these guys. He waited longer than anybody would go to the road. So Butters might not be a bad guy to try to work with here to move forward if you're the 13. Looks like the 13's short pitting like crazy. They have not gone another 30 laps, so the 13 of Voice NASCAR hits pit road early. This to be his final stop of the race.
That is a strategy these guys can do, make a short middle stint. And that's what the 13 is electing to do here.
You know, I really like that move. That battle for second through fifth was not being anything less than a battle. As these guys keep getting really, really racy, you're not going to make up time on the race leader. The only way you are at this point, tire fall off is already taking effect. So you come to pit road, get the fresh tires, and try to make it up now while the race leader is running up slower lap times. And the problem is he's going to have to gain a lot of ground because come the end of the race, that 17 is going to have the fresher tires. So we'll have to see if it pays out. But Voice NASCAR using strategy, trying to get a victory here at Chicagoland in the C group for slappers.
Yeah, the 13 car, he's by taking 4 tires here, which I assume he's doing, he's going to have to make up. He's losing 13 seconds on the pit stop, 12, 13 seconds, so that's a lot on track to make up with those 4 fresh tires. And he's going to have to hope that memory just drives these tires hard, takes 2 at the end instead of just fuel only. That's going to give him a better shot.
Yeah, I really think, though, that the amount of time that he can make up, especially if the leader's going to go no tires, the leader's not going to push hard right now, which is going to slow his lap times down a little bit more. And I think because of that, this may actually pay dividends for that 13. But I'm starting to see other cars come to pit road. The 49 of T. White, the 66 of Dirt Dog, they've all come to pit road now. So he might not pit as early as we seem to have thought he did, but you get 30 to the tank, so you wouldn't actually have to pit till about 60, 61 laps out of the 67 lap race. So I still find it to be early, but other drivers seem to like it as well.
Yeah. Right now, memory, he's got 3 lapped cars between himself and second place of Fire Slayer. Spanker right here, Hamilton still right here. These guys, they are not gaining on that 17 car at all. He is getting away from this draft. And that does not bode well for these guys. As Fire Slayer clips the apron there in 2.
Yeah, you don't want to be doing that either. If you're this second group of drivers, you really need to hit your points lap after lap after lap. No mistakes can be made. Man, I'm trying to look at Denkate's deal, but for some reason it's blurry. It's my phone. Trying to get us a lap count here, just can't quite tell.
I'm going to pull up my Dinkate stream as well.
It's in the, if you click on the broadcast chat, he posted it in there.
Looks like we've got about 20 to go. I know Dinkate's a lap down. At least a lap down.
So the 13 pit was, I mean, you're talking 10, 15 laps into the run, about halfway through the run is when he came to pit road. So gonna have to see if that pans out for him, but right now, none of it matters as the 17 is up front. And I really think as long as 17 hits his marks, and Fire Slayer on pit road now as well.
That's what I'm watching.
But yeah, I
Another one
think
of
as
our
long as
leaders
17 hits his marks and saves as much as he can with his tires and fuel, his time down pit road will be really short.
Second of our leaders here to make his second mandatory stop. Go finds NASCAR somewhere. His cycle's out versus 41. And he's going to clear him by a lot. Big difference there between the 41 and the 13. So advantage right now, the voice of NASCAR. He's going to have a whole back straightaway lead over the 41.
Well, that's going to come to what did they do on pit road, though, also.
Yeah.
I know the 13, we talked about him coming and taking 4 tires, but he may have come and done rights only before his left sides got wore out, so it still plays good lap times, left to right. So he may have had a shorter stop than what we were thinking that he did with 4 tires in the half can.
Broadcaster Clay on pit road. Very clean entry from him. Here comes Brett the Jet. You see him right there in the 42. We're going to hit pit lane for the final time tonight. The 9 and do the do, signaling down the back straightaway.
I know that
this guy's coming in right now.
The 00 car of Just Can has got a lot of work to do in a little amount of time if he wants to make this a 3P. I don't see it happening, but he's still running 6th, 7th place. So pretty good run there out of the 00. I say 6th, 7th. He's not right now. He's probably in the top 5 if he hasn't hit, but once it cycles through, that is where he was running in 6th or 7th.
Right now the ball is in Memory's court. He can literally do anything to cover these guys second on back, whatever he wants to do. He's got so big of a gap that he might even be able to take 2 tires and still come out ahead of these guys if they took fuel only. That's how much of a gap he's got. So
yeah, that's a huge gap right there. He's actually catching the likes of the next car to go a lap down would be crab legging the 4.
Advantage to the 17, big time. It looks like he might just run it all the way out and take fuel only.
Yeah, that's really going to depend, again, on which slider he took, on whether or not he can have had those tires getting wore out. But I'm not seeing him get loose or nothing. That car looks just as stable as you would want a car here in Chicago. I'm still interested on how this is going to play out with that 13 voice in NASCAR, though. We hit so early. The 14, I don't know if you watched it or not, but the 14 hit after him and has been able to pull away, but he's still considerably ahead of Fireslayer in that 41. And so if all the drivers do whatever Fireslayer did on pit road, then voice in NASCAR, this race might be in his court after all.
Possible is on Dedicate Stream it says we have 13 to go. I'm not sure how many laps down he is. I think it's 1. So that would put us at 12 to go, meaning 11 at the line right there.
Just saw another car coming down pit road. Looks like the 19 of Hellraiser. Yeah, Fireslayer's actually behind Dedicate right now.
Hamilton signaling. Another one of our leaders going to hit pit lane this time by. Very aggressive entry.
Yeah, I think if I'm Memory now, even if my plan is to take no tires or right sides only, now that I'm starting to see the other lead guys pit, might be the time to come down pit road.
Memory, he's just coming off a pit lane. So
okay,
yeah,
so he did exactly that, yeah.
He was thinking exactly like you were thinking, just coming off pit lane now.
It just really lets you know where you are in relation to those other guys that did the different pit strategies. I like that move.
Looks like the 1 car bold guy, he's having some problems here on pit entry. He was around on the inside wall in the grass. Gonna get into pit lane now. You see that 13 car, he's got about 3 to 4 seconds behind Memory there that he's got to make up. Maybe a little bit more, maybe more towards 5.
Yeah, and let's be honest, if the 17 took any tires at all, that's just not going to happen with how early the 13 hit.
Yeah, we're less than 10 to go here in Chicago. Oh, the 73 goes around getting onto pit lane.
I was showing Dencate 2 laps down.
All right, 2 laps down for Dencate.
I don't know how many laps it says he has left. That's too blurry for me. But 9 maybe, so 7 for the leaders.
Yeah, it looks like the leader, according to Dencate's stream, 36, who's Spanker sitting on pit lane. He's going to be one of the last ones to pit. This is coming off now. You see that 17 go by.
Yeah, but is the 36 going to end up in second after all this?
Here comes the 13 car. Yeah, the 36 is getting back up to speed. He's going to be able to get up in front of that 13 before they get to turn 3, so he'll have track position over the voice of NASCAR. As right now, Hamilton is the leader.
You know who's flying right now? The 41 car. We've seen Hamilton come to pit road, so he did do a second stop.
He did something here because he's in front of the 17. The 17's right behind him. This is the battle for the lead. So
I'm thinking
differing strategies.
Yeah, I think the 17 took 2 tires, and I'm believing the 18 probably did nothing.
Fuel
That
only.
would be,
Yeah.
I don't see how else he could have got a hold, could have gotten ahead of that 17, because there was a massive gap, and the 17 going right around him right now. But yeah, Fire Slayer back here racing with Voice NASCAR and Spanker. Keep in mind, when Voice NASCAR and Fire Slayer both come off pit road, remember that was like a whole straightaway gap, and now it's less than, looks like about a half a second between the 2 cars. So that 41 car definitely took 4 tires when he pit and is flying back up to these guys.
Yeah, Dencate's 2 laps down. We're looking at 3 to go right here at the line. 17 of memory did just get around the 18 a couple laps ago to retake that top spot. Hamilton right now, he's looking, it's just agonizingly close. Gonna come so close again if you can't get back to that 17's bumper.
Yeah, let's not put away the pace that these guys are setting. They just lapped our Talladega pole sitter. They've lapped Brett the Jet. Those are no joke. And the next car in front of them, that's broadcaster Clay, who's been running 5th, 6th place all night long.
2 to go. That 18's not letting the 17 get away, though. He's using that draft on those older tires. 17 washes up just a bit off of corner number 2. That's going to give the 18 a run down the back straightaway. The 17 tries to break the draft. Hamilton going to try to follow. Oh, he blew a tire.
Hamilton did?
It looked like he went straight into the wall, like a right front just went down.
Coming to what should be the white flag.
Yep, this is the white flag here tonight at Chicago. The 18, I believe, blew a tire there into 3, went head on into the wall.
Dang.
Yeah, he's fighting it hard right now. There goes the 36. There goes the 41, the 13. Hamilton just trying to salvage a finish now. But here's Memory off at corner number 4. In his second start, Memory going to take the win here tonight in Chicago. Spanker going to grab 2nd, Fire Slayer 3rd, the voice of NASCAR gets 4th.
Oh man, Voice NASCAR wanted so bad to have a podium finish and be up here for these post-race interviews after last week.
After 4th, I have no idea. It's going to be Long Live the Sauce gets a top 5. Hamilton limps home in 6th. Higgy 7th. Crableg survives for 8th. I mean, considering what he went through, that's a great run for Crableg to get some points there. 9th is going to be... let's see, come on, Dencade, scroll. You need to scroll up, bud. Yeah, we'll get 9th here in a minute, but I do believe that Just Ken is somewhere in that top 10. His win streak ends at 2.
You said Spanker got 2nd, right?
Yes.
Okay. And results have come in now. We have Tollison got ninth and Justin got
Yep.
10th.
So Ken does come home in 10th. Win streak done at 2. And Tolson with
Fire
a good
Slayer,
run there.
do you have your voice set to always loud?
I should. Let me check. Hang on.
We've had this issue quite a few times already. Might as well get it out of the way now as we're going to go blue screen for just a second to make sure. Okay. Well, we'll go ahead while we're waiting for the other ones to join. We'll go ahead and interview third place tonight, Fire Slayer, in his GC Sports debut at Chicagoland tonight. Fire Slayer come home third. Pretty satisfied with that?
Yeah, I tried playing pitch strategy like the 17 and the 18 did on their first pit stop because I seen how they got out to a large lead there with pitting a lap sooner. But I seen that they ran it out and maybe just took 2 tires or just fuel.
Yeah, it looked like you were on rails there on that final stint. So I'm assuming you took 4 tires there on your second stop. It's still a fast car tonight, coming home in third, just behind Spanker. Was it just the strategy there that cost you a chance at the win, or what could you have done
Yeah,
differently?
yeah, it's just strategy. Like I don't usually run no cautions on no stage races, so kind of green on the strategy aspect. But I mean, all in all, it was a good race, good group of guys. We were all fast.
For sure, solid debut, coming home in third place. Taddy, you got anything for Fire Slayer here tonight?
Yeah, no, you did a great job. We were watching you there. You stayed up front, and again, with this being your first race here, kind of like you were saying, first time with this type of setup with the no cautions, no stages, none of that. Pretty short race, only takes about a half hour, 40 minutes, but all in all, you did a great job. So congratulations, and we're really looking forward to hopefully you can make the rest of the season, and looking forward to what you can do in that 41 Stuart Haas machine.
All right, thank you.
Absolutely.
Spanker in here yet? No. All right. Well, I guess we'll jump over to our race winner then. Memory, man, I know from personal experience just how good you are, but here you are, race number 2 in your GC Sports career, and you have already found victory lane. Had the pole, had the fastest car. Man, you were just dominant tonight. How'd you get it done?
Hold on. Real quick, do you have your voice set to always loud before you start answering?
I believe I do.
Okay. Go ahead then.
I already repeat the question. I already forgot it.
I was just saying, man, from personal experience, I know how good you are, but here you are, second race in GC Sports, and it didn't take you long to get to victory lane. You had the fastest car tonight, sat on the pole. How'd you get it done?
Well, I've always liked Chicagoland. It's one of my better tracks. It's one of the tracks where you can run a really loose setup and not have to worry about getting loose late too much. I did have to put in a little bit of wedge between the two stops, but for the most part, I handled pretty good. Just got to focus on not hitting the apron. That's what kills you.
Yeah, for sure. Well, it didn't kill you here tonight. That Sunny D car was absolutely flying. Tell us about how that race played out for you and what you did there on that final stop.
I was figuring, was it about a 30 so lap fuel run, 10 laps to go. Easily can make it on 2 tires and not lose too much time.
Mm-hmm.
It was more so whether I'd take half a tank gas or a full tank, or not half a tank, but a half a can or full can. Went with a half a can. I don't know how much of a difference that made, but I was able to stretch it to the end.
Yeah, for sure. That pit strategy tonight really opened the door for anything to be possible, and you picked the right one here tonight. So congratulations, my friend, picking up your first win in your second career start. I'll toss it over to Taddy. Taddy, what you got?
Man, it's been a weekend of first time winners from the real life all the way down here to GC Sports Memory. Second start with GC Sports, and you come home victorious. You had a rough time last week with getting on and off pit road. It seemed you had that pit road penalty, but then this week you recovered. Like Gator Mike said, you sat on the pole, you won the race in a dominant fashion. I know at the end the 18 had something for you there until he popped his tire, but man, great job is really, that's all I can say. Not really any question. You answered all questions with just how fast you were out there tonight.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Just really glad it didn't come down to a fuel strategy like it did last week.
Well, it did not, and you brought it home across the line in first place, so congratulations. And one more thing, I'll go ahead and toss that out there. As what we've been doing this season, you have now got an invite to be able to race tomorrow night with the B Group Sliders if you are able to. So congratulations on your first win, and hope to see you tomorrow.
All right, thanks,
Yeah.
guys.
Hey, memory on that one, just write me on Discord. This is Aquataddy. Write me on Discord, and if you have any questions, I'll get you all the information and find you a car and stuff if you're able to race. But they run an hour later. They start at 8:05. So
8:05. Yeah, I got an hour league going on Tuesday nights that start around the same time.
okay, all right, Roger that.
All right. Well, congratulations. We'll see you next week at Pocono, I do believe it is.
Ooh, Pocono.
Yes, sir.
Right.
All right. Well, we got 2 down, 1 to go. We still have our runner-up finisher here tonight, Spanker, making his first start of the season. Spanker, for a first start of the season, you did pretty dang good. Brought it home in second place. Tell us about your race.
Are you on always now?
Yeah, I think I am. Am I?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure I am.
Dang it, Spanker.
I haven't done one of these interviews in a while. Yeah, I'm just happy that my internet was able to survive the whole race, because that plagues me a lot in races. But my car was pretty good. It was a little loose at the beginning, and I was kind of worried that I was going to lose the draft with the top 4 cars. But once the pit stop cycle began, we were able to catch back up. But honestly, I didn't have anything for that 17 car. After the after the first pit stop, and he was out to I think a 3-4 second lead. I thought for sure that we were going to be able to run him back down, because we had a 3-car pack, but we were never even to get close to him. So he had something else that we did not have. But yeah, my car was pretty good. Just a little bit, not enough to get to first place, but I'm happy with a second place finish in my first outing in this series.
Yeah, for sure. It was a great performance from you. I know you took a little bit of a break after last season, but we're glad to have you back here. And, if this is what you're going to give us each week, you might make it into that top 12 in points to advance up to B Group. So congratulations here on P2, and I'll toss it over to Taddy if he's got anything for you.
Yeah, top 15. That's all you need to make to advance
Top
to the B
15,
Group
sorry.
next season. So, actually, we were just talking about it earlier tonight that Memory, having only raced one race, had already moved up to 18th in points and with contention to make the top 15. So, Spanker, you took a little sabbatical, 2-race sabbatical. You came back, you showed up, showed out. You didn't look like you had anything for the 17, but simply that group was kind of a little more racy than drafting. But all in all, man, first off, that 36 car is ugly.
I know it is. When I was told I was a 36 car, I'm like, really? Is there anything else?
Well,
yeah, that's why I
this point,
switched from last
Spanker,
week.
that
right,
36 might be good luck, because it got you a second place tonight. So you might just have to keep it now.
It didn't help Memory last week, but no, Spencer, you write me this week. I'll get you the car list. Facebook was down all day, so I was unable to get you the list of cars. But yeah, all in all, man, you did a great job, and seeing you back on track, it was great. I know RJ, he's going to be pretty happy seeing you finish P2. I know you have your guys' little group there, so yeah, RJ is going to be real happy. And all in all, there's nothing to say other than you ran your race, and with these no cautions, that's what is most important, is just simply running your own race and staying out of the conflicts with other drivers.
Yeah, I also, like you said, I want to give a shout out to RJ Smitty for helping me with my setup, because it definitely helped me tonight.
You know this is slider races, right?
Well, yeah, but he
Help me
give you
with my
tire
pit
pressures and
adjustments,
wedge
Daddy.
and stuff. It's not like
Okay. I was just making sure you were aware that you did not just run a custom setup or something.
I am aware, Taddy. Thank you.
All right. Well, again, great job tonight, and I guess that's going to do it here for the interviews, unless you got something left there, Mike.
No, that's it for our top 3 finishers here tonight. Memory, Spanker, and Fire Slayer bring it home in your top 3 here tonight. 3, relatively new guys to the C Slider series. So love to see the fresh faces up front and finishing up front here early on in the season. But next week, these guys are going to head to Pocono, the Tricky Triangle. What do they got for that track? I guess we'll find out next Monday at 7:05 p.m. Eastern Time. However, we've got 3 races left for this week. They're all at Chicagoland Speedway tomorrow night at 8:05 p.m. Eastern Time. We've got the B Group Sliders, top 20 in points from last season, and we'll see what they got. Can Aquatati make it 3 for 3 and see what he's got tomorrow? He thinks he can, but I might have something to say about that.
I just hope I don't get just canned. End up in the wall right out the gate. But a little different though.
Yeah.
Tune in tomorrow. If one of your favorite drivers do get into an incident like we've seen tonight, there are cautions in the B group. So none of your drivers will be out of the race until literally the checker flag drops. So tune in for sure. 8:05. Congratulations to our podium finishers as well as all the other drivers. 22 drivers on track. 23 started the race. 1 backed out. That's no easy task at a race with no caution. So all those drivers did an amazing job. Great job by everyone tonight, and tune in tomorrow night.
Yeah, don't forget about the Custom Series Wednesday and Thursday, C and B group respectively. So for Aquatati, I'm GTR Mike 89. Thank you guys for tuning in as always, showing your love and supporting the stream, and we will see you guys next time. So for GC Sports, Gator Mike, talk to you guys later.
Bro, you just told them your name was GTR Mike and then said for Gator Mike. We'll talk to you.
It's both, bud. And my game just froze.
It's okay.
Hold on.
Actually, make sure that it does go off. I've actually seen, I've done that myself where I blue screen, and I can hear everything you're saying on the broadcast right now.
Okay.
Where I blue screen thinking it was over, and I started talking mad shit about people, and my game had froze, so I just kept on going, and nope.
Yeah, it is frozen right now. So I'm just gonna turn it off.
Alright, I'll check y'all later.